Hi class, welcome to this week's Jolly Phonics video. In this video, we will be going over Jolly Phonics page 19, 20, 21, and 22. So as I'm doing the lessons, please follow along and make sure that you have your Jolly Phonics book with you. So if you do not have your Jolly Phonics book with you, pause the video right now and please go get it and then unpause when you're ready. Okay, so starting on page 19, so make sure that you're flipped to page 19. We will be doing the activity. So at the top of the page, in the yellow boxes, you will see the words at the top. So as you can notice, there is 2 vowels in each word. So what did we learn in class? When there's 2 vowels, then the vowel becomes a long sound. So, for example, if we are reading the word smoke, the O is a long O sound because the E is here to change it. So it becomes smoke. Do you hear the O sound? Smoke, right? Then, when we have this word here, try reading it at home first. So it's use, use. Do you hear the U sound? It's not an sound anymore because the E is here to change the U. Then when we go down and read this one, so read it at home first. So it's aim, game. And the A is an A sound. It's not an sound anymore. It's an A because it's game. The E changes the A sound. So what is the pattern that we're seeing? When there are 2 vowels together, it becomes a long vowel sound. So like the O changes, the U, the A. So that when we are reading, it's important that we keep this rule in our mind because then when we are reading new words and we see 2 vowels, then we can make a better guess of what the sound is going to be. So have a look at this one. Try to sound it out at home. Okay, so let's read it together. Eve, right? Because it's not an sound anymore, it's an E sound, right? It's saying its own name. When a vowel is long, it says its own name, right? So A, E, I, O, U. So Eve. The E at the end changes the first E. So when vowels are together, they kind of have this magic power where the one at the end changes the one in the middle. I'm sure some of you know the one where it says, when 2 vowels go walking, the first one does the talking, right? So the first vowel is E, and that one talks, and the other one is quiet. A does the talking, E is quiet, right? Okay, let's continue on with our words. Make sure you're following along on your page and going one by one on the yellow words at the top of page 19. Let's sound this out first, so try it at home. Okay, now let's do it together. Mule. So again, the U is the first vowel, so it does the talking. So it goes mule, 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 right? Do you hear the U sound? Right. Okay. Try this one at home now. Okay, awesome. So again, the I is the first vowel. It does the talking, so it's going to be I, right? Not like I. Okay? Hive. Then this word. So first vowel is an E, so it says its own name, E, and the other one is these. Okay, let's keep going. So you try this one at home. Again, remember, the first one does the talking, and the other one is, so, O, right? Oak, joke, right? Can you hear the O sound? Joke, right? It's not It's a joke. Okay, try this one, please. Now remember, this one here makes a sh sound, and then a saying its own name. So when we put the sounds together, it's shave. Okay, last word. Try it at home. Okay, so again, I is the first vowel, so that one is saying its own name, and the other one is quiet. Okay, so side. Awesome. Okay, now you're going to move down on the page, and you can see the different trees. In the trees, there are pictures. Now, there are also leaves, and the leaves will have to be connected to the trees. So you look at the picture, and you make a good guess about which word goes with which picture. So we've done this in class before. So the first example, it says Pete, P-E-T-E, Pete, and it's connected to the little boy because his name is Pete. So just like that, you're going to go through every leaf and find the correct word to the picture. So I will read all the words together. So right beside Pete is the word bone. Bone, and you'll notice that the O is the one that does the talking and the E stays quiet. So what I would like you to do is take your pencil and circle the O in bone and the E in bone to show me that those are the two vowels inside that word. Okay, so go ahead right now and do that. You can pause the video now if you need some more time. Okay, moving on to the next one. So beside bone is the word cake. So again, we're going to circle the A and then the E because those are the two vowels that are in that word to make the long A sound, right? The A is the one that's doing the talking and the E is the one that's quiet. So let's read all the other words together and then you are going to circle them on your own. So again, you can pause the video at any time if you need some more time to do the activity. So underneath at the bottom, in the middle, the word smile. So make sure that you circle the vowels. Then the word nose. Make sure you circle the vowels. Cube, skate, rope, kite. Okay. So after you're done circling the vowels, you are going to connect the leaf to the picture it belongs to. So just like the book already connected Pete to the picture of the boy, because they belong together, you are going to connect the word bone to the picture of the bone. Okay, once you're done connecting the words to the pictures, then you can color the pictures really nicely. Okay, and that's it. That's page 19. So if you are going to move on to page 20, then you can continue watching. If not, pause this video and you can come back tomorrow to do page 20. Hi grade 1s, in this video I will be teaching you page 20 of the Jolly Phonics. So make sure that you have the Jolly Phonics with you and a pencil. So if you don't have those two things, then pause the video right now, go get it, and then I'll wait for you to come back. Okay, so now that we're ready to go, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to say some words and your job is to write them down on the lines. So you'll see on the left side of your page that there is lines there and the word dictation at the top. So just like we do in class, you're going to write each word on a new line. And remember, when you're trying to spell really, really well, it's important that you really think about the sounds. What sounds are coming in the word? Is it a short vowel? Is it a long vowel? Because if it's a short vowel, mostly it's just one vowel. But if it's a long and it's saying its own name, then you will have to have two vowels, right? So those are all really important things. Also, if it's a word that is if it's a letter, and it's a blend, like sh, 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 what letters make the sh sound? S-H. So those ones you need two letters for, right? So really think about the sounds. Okay, let's get started. So if you are ready to go, then continue watching. If not, you can pause here and get yourself ready. Okay, first word, hid. H-id, hid. I hid under the table. Hid. Now, you can pause after each word if you need more time. It's totally up to you. Whatever works. Next word, hum. I'm humming. Hum. Hum. Ant. The ant was crawling on my leg outside. Ant. Ant. From. I got a letter from my friend. From. Slip. I slip on the water. I slip on the water. Slip. Really think about what sounds those are at the beginning. Okay. Shed. I have a shed in my backyard to keep my lawnmower. Shed. Thumb. Really think about what sound at the beginning makes that sound. Thumb. I went with them to the park. Chain. I used the chain to keep my things locked up. Chain. Harp. Harp. I played the harp at the concert. It's kind of like an instrument. Harp. Okay, this is the last word. This one's a tricky one. It kind of sounds like two words, but it's one word, okay? Really think about the sounds that come into it. Mushroom. Think about the two words that you can spell. Mushroom, and put it together to spell the word right. Mushroom. I saw a mushroom in the garden. Okay, so now I'm going to read all of the words again in order. So if you still need some time, pause the video right here and take a few minutes to fix the words. Otherwise, I'm going to continue reading the words. Okay, so I'm going to read them in order, so just go down the line and make sure that you did your best try spelling, okay? Hid, hum, ant, from, slip, shed, them, chain, harp, mushroom. Okay, I'm going to read them one more time, in the same order. Hid, hum, ant, from, slip, shed, them, chain, harp, mushroom. Okay, so this is the time to pause the video if you need to make any changes or corrections, and otherwise we're moving on to the next part of the page. Okay? Now, to check the spelling of the words, you can just get mom and dad to look at the lesson plan, and I listed all the words for them there, and they can look at it there, or they can just mark it on the page. Up to you. If you got any words wrong, I am suggesting that you take your journal out, the green one, the writing one, and write each word that you got wrong 3 times to practice the spelling, right? We get better at spelling if we practice more and more and more. So that's important to really remember how to spell the words. Okay? If you got some wrong, that's okay. It's just a spelling practice. So it's not a test or anything, so don't worry too much. Okay, so the next part, you'll see there's a big blue box on the page 20, and your job here is to write the letter. So the instructions say, you can follow along at the top of the page. Write inside each outline letter and then write the matching capital or lowercase letter in the next space to it. So the first box, you'll see there's an S, and then beside it, there is the dotted S. So your job is to, in the box where the letter is, to make the letter, right? Like we practiced in class. So you have the letter like this, S. And you are going to take your pencil and you're going to put it inside, right? Trace it inside. Just like that, just like in class. Then, beside it, there's the dotted ones. So you're going to take your pencil and you're going to trace the dotted one for the S and make a capital S. Okay? Then you're going to do all of the letters. So if it's a capital letter, then beside it in the box, you are going to do a lowercase letter, the small letter. And you have to trace inside the outline, right? Just like we do always in class. Okay, so once you're done that, then you're going to go down. So if you're not ready yet, pause the video here, and then you can move on when you're done this part. Or you can continue on if you'd like. So the next part says, write inside the outline letters and then write over the dotted capital letters. So again, you are going to write inside the letter and then follow the dots to make the letters really nice. Now, it's important that you follow the dotted lines as best as you can, make it really nice and neat, take your time, because this is really important to practice our printing, right? So make sure that you follow the dots all the way to the end, and that's it. So that's page 20. If you are not moving forward, you can stop the video here, and if you want to move on and do the next page as well, then you can continue watching. Okay, so right now we're going to go over page 21. So make sure that you have your Jolly Phonics and your pencil ready, and then we'll get started. So this is the tricky words page. So we've done pages like this before in class, so it's going to be kind of similar, so you might already know how to do it. But I'm going to give you the instructions, so if you want the instructions, you can continue watching the video. Okay, so I want to review why these words are tricky words. So normally, the pattern is that when there is one vowel, then it's short. So if we just look at these words, and I've not seen these words before, and I'm reading a new book, and I'm trying to figure out how to read them, I would think that this would be a short O sound. Ah, ah, ah. So if I read it, ga, ah, ga, that doesn't quite make sense. So the important thing to remember is that sometimes words break the rule. So just because the rule is that one vowel, makes a short sound, that doesn't mean that every word is going to follow that rule. So these ones are kind of rule breakers. Let's try the long O sound. O, O, G, O, go. Okay, that makes more sense. So it's important that when you're reading, you try out different things to see what the word should be. Sometimes you have to try two different sounds to figure out what the right one is. You have to read it and think about, does this word make sense in my sentence? Let's try the next one. N, O, no. Right, again, long O sound, but there's only one vowel, so it's kind of tricky, right? It kind of tricks you. N, O, no. Okay, let's read the next one. S-O, so, right? All of these words, they're tricky because they only have one vowel, but it's a long sound, right? Okay, so first it said, read the words and then find them in the word search. So you're going to look around on your page, and when you see those flowers, those are the words you're going to find in your word search. So you're going to go and find, for example, you're going to read the word no, and then you're going to go in the word search and try to find N-O together to make the word no, and then you're going to circle it, just like the example of you. Do you see it there in the middle of your page? It says Y-O-U, and then there's a big red circle around it. So just like that, you're going to circle it. You can just do it with pencil, or you can use a pencil crayon, whatever you have, just no marker, because it's going to go through the page. Okay? So then at the bottom, you're going to do it just like in class. Remember, you read the word, then you cover the first word, and then you read the next one and try to write it again, right? So the idea is that you're trying to practice to get better at spelling. So the word go is a tricky word, right? So then we're going to practice spelling it, G-O, okay? So now we are going to do page 22 of Jolly Phonics. So if you do not have your Jolly Phonics with you because you paused the video from before, make sure you go grab it, make sure you have a pencil, an eraser, because you're going to be doing some writing, so those things are going to be very important. So pause the video here now if you don't have those, and otherwise, let's go. Let's keep going. Okay, so this page, it's like a lot of the other pages in the Jolly Phonics books. You'll have seen this one before. It is a picture, and then your job is to write about the picture. Now, we have to remember some important things when we're writing about a picture, and let's go over those. So, first important thing, each sentence we need to make sure we are using a capital, right? We're using our writing checklist, and we're going to make sure that every single sentence starts with a capital. Another thing I've noticed in some of your writings that you submitted to me, you are not starting the sentences at the left side. You're kind of going in the middle, sometimes here. So we need to make sure that all of the sentences, they're starting to the left, right? So this side of the page, if you're writing, then you start right here. You don't start there or in the middle, right? We always have all of the sentences here. Then the next important part is each sentence should have a noun, a verb, and an adjective. So, what is a noun? Let's review that for a minute. Well, a noun is a person, place, or thing, right? So, for example, in this picture, what kind of nouns could we think of for the picture? So, take a look on page 22, look at the picture, and really think about it. What kind of nouns? So I'm going to be brainstorming the nouns with blue, just like we do in class every day. So if you're watching this video, then you can pause it between to take some time to brainstorm on a separate piece of paper, or you can just watch the video and follow along. First, the noun fish, right? That one's easy. It's already there for you on the side of the page. And we should be spelling it right. It's right on the page. So, right? Animals are nouns. Like if we talk about an animal in a sentence, that is a noun. What else could we talk about as a noun for this? Well, how about water? Because this fish is swimming in water. Or rocks. There could be rocks at the bottom of the water. If I look at the picture, oh, I see a little crab. We could talk about the crab. Okay, and let's see, what else do I notice? Oh, I see some seaweed. The things going up like that. Now, when you write your sentences, you do not need to use these nouns. You can use your own, and you can brainstorm at home with mom and dad, but these are just some suggestions. So, when you're writing your sentence, you need to make sure that you're using a noun. So, the blue words, right? The person, place, or thing. Okay, next thing. So far we have capitals in each sentence, nouns, then we're moving on to verbs. So, let's think back to what a verb is. A verb is an action word. So it would be the action that the noun is doing most of the time. So if we're thinking about a fish, for example, what verbs, what actions would the fish be doing? Okay, so let's brainstorm some verbs. Well, the fish could be swimming, for example. And parents, if you're watching this video, don't worry so much about the tenses of the verbs. That's not really important. I'm just worried about each child putting a verb in the sentence. So if the tenses don't make sense, then don't worry too much about it. And if you're watching this and you're my student, don't worry about that at all. It doesn't matter. We're just using a verb. So it doesn't matter if it's present, past, or future tense. Swimming, what else could the fish be doing? Eating maybe? Maybe he's floating on the water. So these are all really good verbs. These are all actions that a fish could do. Remember, when we're thinking about verbs for sentences, they should make sense, right? A fish isn't going to be walking around because the fish doesn't have legs and the fish don't sorry, I mean the fish don't walk, right? So just really think about that. That's really important when you're writing. It has to make sense. Okay, last one. I'm going to do the adjectives in brown. Okay, so when we talk about adjectives, they are the describing words of the sentence. So when we're thinking about it, you would think about what could I describe the fish or the crab? So how does the crab look? How big is it? Does it have a pattern on it? So think about what your fish would look like. You can even close your eyes and think about it in your mind before you start writing. If you are imagining a fish in your story, what does it look like? Does it have a spot? Does it have stripes? Is it orange? Is it black? What color could it be? And the awesome part about this is that you can come up with any color because fishes are a lot of different colors. So if I'm going to talk about my fish, I want my fish to be small. So I'm going to write this word small on the board. Or you can talk about that the fish is big. You can say that your fish has spots. Or that your fish is a certain color. So my fish, I want to be pink. So those are the words you would think about if you're thinking about an adjective. Okay, so let's go back to our writing checklist. We have capitals at the beginning of our sentences. And our sentences are going to start at the left side, right? Then we have a noun, a verb, and an adjective. Then we end each sentence with a period. So that's really important, okay? Make sure that you have a period at the end of your sentence. So now that we've done all this brainstorming, it's your turn to write. So make sure that you're using all the 3 types of words in your sentence. And it's good to talk about your sentence before you start writing. So if you have a little sister or brother or an older sister or brother or mom and dad, maybe you can talk to them a little bit before you start writing. When we are writing, it's easier for us to talk about it first, then we can start writing. It's going to make your writing so much better when you have a plan before you start. Okay, so this is really important, the planning part. Okay, so that's the end of the Jolly Phonics videos for this week. I will try to post one every week so that it's easy for everyone to follow along. And you can pause the videos as you go, or you can watch them all together. It's totally up to you. And of course, the pause button is going to be down below, and then the timestamp, so to skip to the different pages, is going to be down below in the description.